Good morning and welcome into the Pats Nation. I'm Corso. Catone is here. Joe's with us in the booth. You're watching us this fine morning on YouTube. So make sure when you're on YouTube, you subscribe. Let me see it, Joe. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see the subscribe. Give me that little.
You don't know what the hell.
There it is. There it is right there. Make sure you subscribe. Give us that thumbs up. Like the show. That's what we're looking for. Leave a comment. Or you can email us in our mailbag, corso.catone@gmail.com. You can call us too in Heated Hotline, 855-313-PATS, P-A-T-S. It's a message line 24/7. Leave a message. And Joe may pick one that let's hope it's yours. Guys, we got a we won 4 in a row.
We got the
he keeps hitting me that we won 4 in a row. But we got a good show. We got a good show today. We're gonna go in talk Drake Mania, talk a little quarterback, and talk about this quarterback breakdown and matchup this week. Going to talk Pat's preview for the offensive and defensive keys to victory against the Cleveland Browns today. And we'll go into the coach's room and coach's corner, see about this buy-in. And we're going to try to make you some money. Mark had a pretty good week in Sunday spread. Your lock of the week was good last week, Mark.
So. Well, I loved Philly. My lock of the week was Philly. They did what they were supposed to do. Barely, but they did.
So, good morning. Good morning.
Listen, we're gonna hurry up because I gotta change and I gotta go to this game and start drinking.
He's right.
That's right. You do. Well, then let's get started. You want to go talk Drake Mania?
Listen, Joe, hit the button. Would you? Come on.
I think there's an athleticism to him that's really, really cool. I think he's really accurate from all different spots, whether it's in the pocket, off platform. I mean, he's really done a nice job so far and spreading the football around. But there's an accuracy to him that's been really good for us.
How do you describe his growth from your perspective? What would you say about the way he's grown?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of demand there from Josh and myself, and I think he's responded to that as far as the leadership that he's had to show this offense. And
some bruises at Josh.
He wants to earn it. Well, I mean, I've told him that he's earned it, and I think he doesn't like something in practice, then he gets it fixed. And if he wants a better Friday practice, then he talks about it before we go out there on Friday. And, I think those guys respond to him and the things that he says and the way that he, operates.
So that was off Mike Vrabel talking about his quarterback, Drake May. And so, all right, Mike, everybody loves rankings. Everybody loves the rank this and rank that. Where's he ranked to you right now in the NFL among quarterbacks?
He's a top.
And I'm talking about active quarterbacks. A screenshot of where we are today.
I believe he's a top 5 quarterback right now. When you look around the league, he's a top 5 quarterback, Chris, in my opinion.
It's hard to argue against that.
Right?
Yeah, it's really tough to do. I mean, you look at the guys that are playing well right now, and you're talking about
and don't get me like Burrow's hurt, so I'm not even including Burrow in the conversation because he's not playing. I'm talking about guys that are actually playing. You know what I mean?
Don't ever interrupt me again.
Oh, would you please, Joe?
No, but that's why I said a screenshot of the league right now. I mean, look, who are the best guys right now? Daniel Jones. You're right. Well, I mean, the guys that are playing well right now. I mean, I guess you could look at maybe Justin Herbert. You could look at some of what Mahomes and Drake May.
Would you consider Josh Allen in that group?
I don't think he's playing up to that level right now. Do you?
No, I would say right now, no. Is he a top 5 quarterback? Yes, but he's not currently. He's not playing to that level. No, I agree with you. He's not.
No, and so I look at the situation and I'm saying, okay, because look, I think eventually Mahomes is going to win the MVP again this year because you could see his trajectories going that way. It makes me sick to my stomach, but it's going up. I mean, he's got Rice back. He looked good last week, and the Chiefs are now going to just go on a tear now. That's how that's going to go.
You're going to be busting things again,
right? Because every tough game they get at home. So, but with this kid, Drake May, he's just doing things. Like he's doing things out there that you don't. You look at you say he's 20. This guy's 22. He's 22. The command. the presence in the pocket, climbing the pocket. I mean, he could do everything. So the minute you say, well, I'd like to see him be able to set up pass pro, I see it happening. I'd like to be able to see him go to his second and third reads. I see it happening. I see him reading choice routes down the field, deep down the field. Well, can he get away from pressure? Yeah, we see him doing that. Can he lead the team, Mark? Well, they love this kid.
Vrabel's comment, Chris, I know you got some clips you want to play, but Vrabel's comment about the Friday practices, Chris, if he doesn't like what he's seeing, he brings it up before the Friday practice and fixes it. That's and the players are listening, listen to him and buy in. Vrabel said that's a little reminiscent, Chris, of the old days with number 12. That we're going to run this 1,000 times until we get it right. You know what I mean? So May's starting to show some of those qualities, Chris, and the team is following him.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear about listen. We're not going to keep apologizing. So shut up out there with the comments we're getting. He's not Brady. Don't compare him to Brady.
No one is comparing. No one said he's Brady. I don't say he's Brady.
I'm not going to keep saying that. We're not going to have to keep saying that every single time we want to give this kid some love.
Let's just put this to bed. Let's just put it to bed. The greatest quarterback to ever play this game is Tom Brady. We know that. No one has been more of a Tom Brady fan than Chris and I. He's got 7 rings, 6 with us. No one is going to break that. Mahomes, nobody's breaking that. In the near future, nobody's going to break that record. Chris and I will argue they won't break it in our lifetime, probably. So
sit down, shut up, have a Bloody Mary, and listen.
Exactly. We're not comparing him to Brady.
We don't need to keep saying that, but listen, he sets a franchise record with completion percentage in a single game, passing Brady. He's the first quarterback in Patriots history with 3 games in a single season with a completion percentage over 80. 6th straight game with a QB rating of 100+. Patriots record is 8 by Brady. Like, you can't ignore these numbers, and you can't ignore what you also can't ignore is this.
I have a sense that you guys have something special going here.
No, I feel like right now we all just meshing really well. We still growing and going in a direction. You don't want to put the carriage before the horse and jump out there with statements and stuff like that. But I know that this team is growing closer day by day. Not just on the field, but the more time that we spend together, makes you want to go out there and play hard for your brother. The closer you get that team camaraderie, and football kind of breeds that like family environment. Spend a lot of time with a guy. You get to know him personally, and you want to go out there and play hard. You want them to do well. You want guys to play well at a high level, and I just think. She said something special. We'll figure it out at the end.
Only 2 incompletions today for Drake. Just what can you say about the level that he's been playing at for these last couple of weeks?
He's playing at a high level. I mean, he's being a quarterback. It's easy to say that, but he's finding an open man. Guys are making plays for him. Tight ends are playing well. Running backs catching the ball. Receivers, everybody's just doing their job. Try not to give it too much, but you want to give it to the media to kind of figure that thing out. But when you see a guy in practice put a lot of time in, approach this thing the right way, it's no surprise to us. Hopefully you go 22 for 22. You know what I'm saying? So try not to give it too much, but know that we're going in the right direction. But it's a lot of plays we left out there too. So
that's Stephon Diggs. So that's the player's perspective, Mark, right? So the players love this guy. He's leading this team. He's a leader. Well, what about the media? You say that. Well, how about the media? I mean, is the media? Well,
anything move me? It's freaking Drake May. I mean, it's just like it's week after week. He's making it look easy. This week, he sets the franchise record for completion percentage. I looked this up. And this could change because of game charting or what have you. But his completion percentage over expected today, last time I looked, was plus 24.4.
Like 91%.
That means that he was basically supposed to complete like about 70% of his passes. He ended up completing, 91% or what have you. That is, out of all the games so far this season, through the 1:00 games, that is the second best mark in the league to Sam Darnold in week 5. So, and he's taking care of the ball.
So that was Greg Bedard. So there's the media. Okay. Okay. So he's legit. This is not just a one-off. This is now the trend. This is what we should expect him to play like, right?
Yeah. Can I throw something out there?
Bring us back to reality. Go ahead.
We're playing the Little Sisters of the Paw. I just want to bring us back to reality a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay, then let's talk about this week. Okay. Going against the best defense they've played so far.
Okay.
And I know they play Pittsburgh. I understand that. But I think this defensive front, I think the backers are good. Listen, Mark, you're talking about a front, and we're going to talk about this when we talk keys to victory on offense too. But you're talking about Garrett, Bush, Graham, Collins. You know, they had 4 sacks last week. Their secondary can play. You know, there's not there are defensive backs in their secondary that can lock up with what we have on our side. So when you talk about Drake May, and by the way, I wasn't all that impressed with our offensive line last week either. Okay. What do you got to see from him this week to tell you, yeah, okay, this is continuing to be?
Well, Chris, he's going to have to make quick decisions because this team, to your point, I believe will get pressure with 4 guys. So if you get pressure with 4 guys, what does that mean, Chris? They're going to match up against our guys, but they're also going to flood the zone. They should be. This defensive line may very well get pressure with Jarrett and those guys with 4, just rushing 4, dropping 7. Now what? With our receivers, now what? So you're going to have to see him be quick, decisive. He's not going to have a lot of time back there. Is he going to run out, try to make plays with his legs? Is he going to force the ball? Is he going to continue? Can he continue, Chris, under pressure and the rest, which I think will happen this week? Can he continue to do what we've seen? Slide in the pocket, move in the pocket, make the right read, because I don't think he's going to have enough time, Chris, for some of those plays down the field where guys got open for him in the past, like against New Orleans. I don't think that's going to happen this week with this defensive front. I think it's going to have to be more check down, quick slot, quick pass. Who's open? Boom, boom, boom. It's going to have to be more like a Brady type of a game. Yes, I'm making that comparison again. But,
so like the deep ball, not so much.
I don't know if that's going to be there, Chris, against this team this week because of.
I can tell you, I think he throws a better deep ball than Brady. I do.
No, he does, but yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
but Chris, they're going to get pressure with 4. They're going to drop 7 back.
Well, it isn't only that, Mark. It isn't only that. It's the fact that the linebackers for Cleveland have got enough speed that they can run with him. They can match him. So the fear that you have of playing man coverage.
Can those linebackers handle Hunter Henry and those guys too? Can they take out the tight ends? Those linebackers handle Henry?
Yeah, I think they'll be okay with them. So that's the problem. And so you're now playing the first team that you've played that can now lock up. They can play man. They're not fearful of turning their backs on Drake May. See, the problem with playing him man coverage against the Patriots is the same as Josh Allen. You're worried about turning your back on Drake May because he can get outrun and outspeed everyone for a 40-yard gain if he wants.
And I know they stink, Chris, but
their linebackers can match that speed of May.
And you're right. And listen, I know they stink, but believe it or not, Chris, week 1,
they beat Green Bay.
The Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders, yeah.
Played man to man and matched up with us because they got pressure with Crosby and those guys.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? And if you just watch that film and you have the personnel to do it, which you think Cleveland does, and it's obviously a better personnel than the Raiders have.
Yeah.
On defense.
Yeah. So my point, again, is you're going to see some things. He's going to see things in this game that he hasn't seen yet, okay, which is that lockdown coverage where your corners are pretty good and they're going to be able to lock up against Booty. You know, Booty's he's not running by anybody. Now you'll be able to scheme. Josh McDaniels is going to have a good game with his check down stuff, his bubbles, his screens, his wide receiver screens. That stuff's going to have to be used because they got speed to the edges too. So again, this is a nice test for him. So because this defense isn't the Little Sisters of the Poor, like you say, it just isn't.
Yeah. No.
So
no. Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. And the other thing too, Mark, just really quick, give me 10 seconds on it. Are you concerned that he's running too much?
No, yes, because I don't think he knows, Chris, how to take a hit. Like, I don't think he knows how to protect himself. Yes, he slides and goes down, but even when he gets hit, Chris, like, like the old thing in the old days, they used to teach the, when they train wrestlers and professional wrestlers, when they get thrown against the ropes in the corners, they used to teach them how to duck their chins to take the impact, because otherwise they'd be getting like a whiplash effect every time they were whipped into it. May's going to learn tricks of the trade, Chris, so when you are getting hit, you're not banging your head against the turf, or it's like a whiplash effect. You know what I mean? And you can speak to it because God knows you had several concussions when you played.
Yeah, you got to learn how to
what I
fall.
mean?
You got to learn how to fall. You got to learn how to slide. You see, there'll be a lot of sliding this week. So those are the things we think he needs to do in order to play well today. Let us know what you think in Heated Hotline. But Drake Mania was presented by Corso and Catone, the real deal New England Field, Saturdays, noon Eastern. Hey, make sure you're tuning in. We got Bruins, Celtics, Catone's comments. Mark just finished up his rant on the Yankees. So make sure you're tuning back into yesterday's show. We'll listen to that, and we'll break down.
You had to bring them back up again. This is
of course. I just want to irritate you a little bit.
Patch Nation, don't bring them up.
I live to irritate. Stick around because Pat's preview is next.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more Corso and Catone.
Saturdays at noon.
I wake up every morning wondering, what can I do today to irritate and annoy Mark? I come up with all these things to do that. Such as bringing up the crap ass Yankees. Oh, you were right though.
You know what's going to irritate me? Thanksgiving's in 5 weeks. The holidays are coming. That's what irritates me.
Oh boy, here we go.
Breaking news.
The holidays are coming. Mark's gonna stick around for Catone's comments on Corso and Catone in the coming weeks. If you ever and make sure you've used the restroom beforehand, because you will be yourself listening to him talking about the holidays. Anyway, so all right, getting back to this game against 1 o'clock kickoff to the Browns, and Mark's gonna get out of here to get to the game, so we'll do that. But want to break down the offensive and defensive keys to victory. We're going to do it in Pat's preview. We're going to do it right now.
Pat's preview.
The first down snap to May out of the catch. Stevenson to his left. Drake takes the snap, hands it off. Ramada running right into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots! That's a good drive right there. That is a really, really good drive. May gets it going, gets Nick. Dobbs gets in, keeps it alive, gets the throw to the right side. They continue the drive. Another catch by Ramondre. Then you get one by Diggs inside. Then you get Ramondre there with the run. It's an easy run off the right side. Now you get a chance to put this thing away.
So that was the call last week in Tennessee of Scott Zolak and Bob Sosi talking about that Stevenson run. And Mark, so talk about the rest of the offense, the running game. So we're talking about Cleveland allowed 99 yards to get against Miami last week, who, is there a more wretched organization right now than the Miami Dolphins?
No. So Chris, I do believe for all
Judkins rushed. I'm sorry, not Judkins, but Arche rushed for 82 yards, 6 yards a carry. He was averaging.
For all the accolades we gave Cleveland's defense in the last segment.
Yeah.
That was against the pass. And a lot of that was, we were talking about our receivers. I do think, Chris, you can run the ball on this team. I do think you can. And that's going to be maximizing the running game, Chris, I think is going to be key. Because I do think you're going to have to score, obviously, some points in this game. But I think you're going to have to maximize the running game to open up a little bit of because of what they're going to be able to do with you, Chris, when you do have to throw the football, maximizing that running game is going to open some things up for May. So I think you're going to see a similar approach than you saw against the Titans, where they're going to come out quickly and try to establish the run. I do. And Chris, you brought up on yesterday's show on Corso Catone, and I want you to talk about that a little bit, because I'm talking about the running game, how they did some different things with the running game last week.
Yeah,
and they're going to have to do more of that this week, I think, Chris.
Yeah, I thought that the offensive, I thought that the running scheme last week they came in with Josh McDaniels and company was excellent because they were mixing up a lot of zone runs, a lot of ISO, a lot of hat on hat, tackle to tackle runs, man to man on man, just firing off and hitting behind, which is what they're traditionally. That's McDaniel's traditional run scheme. It's not really so much of a zone scheme, but like for example, that first play of the game, the Stevenson, I think it was like an 8-yard run. They were selling the inside zone to the left on that, so you had all the linemen basically sliding left and making it as if this is a zone left run. Okay. And even Drake May, the way he turned to hand the ball off, it was as if that ball was going left. Stevenson gets the ball, go left, and then he slides all the way back to the right. Meanwhile, on the back end, you got your tight end, you got Diggs. And by the way, the wide receivers are buying in to blocking too in the running game. They did last week. Let's hope they do it again because Diggs had a real key block on that play where he came down, cracked down. So while it looked like a zone run to the left, it ends up sliding back to the right onto more of a traditional run play. And it was executed really well. That's the kind of stuff they're going to have to do. Those kinds of disguises because they got athletes on that front four. You got, like we talked about, you got Garrett, you got Bush, you got Graham, you got Collins. I mean, these guys can play, so you're going to have to move them and you're going to have to do it with scheme some, and
the schemes this week, as we said yesterday on yesterday's show, of course, we considered the idea that potentially did Stevenson secure his role from last week, or you think Henderson's you're going to see him now this week have a starring role with some of those schemes?
Mark?
Well, so that leads into one of my other keys for victory, Chris, is I think you're going to have, you mentioned, some screening, check downs, bubbles. You mentioned that in the last segment. I think you're going to see Trevion Henderson be brought in for some of that this week. I think you're going to see them try to establish Henderson in the screen game and try to get him into some space against this defense this week. Yeah. So that's a good point, Joe. I don't know if it'll be in the running game, but I think it'll be more in the passing game in regards to bubbles, screens, check. You know what I mean, Chris? I think they will try to establish Henderson this week in that manner. Something they didn't do last week. They'll throw a wrinkle at that Cleveland defense this week.
And I think he can really use him, and he could exploit the defense in hot reads. So because if they're gonna if you got guys coming off the edge, they're coming free. You want that hot read. You want to be able to check down towards the pressure. And if they can get him to do that, the bottom, Joe, the key to it is he going to be patient enough with the ball in his hand to allow the play to set itself up and to allow him to have success. So far, it's either the speed of the game or it's just he hasn't caught up. He just hasn't caught up yet, to the game. I think he will. I mean, he can't deny what he did at Ohio State. The kid was an electric kind of a player. And I just want to see what he's like when he allows the game to come to him, in that way. I'm Chris, with Mark on that.
That might limit his usage this week because you mentioned the front four. He's a liability in pass pro right now.
And he was supposed to not be.
He was supposed to not be. The scouting report on him was he's one of the best pass protecting running backs to come out of college football in years. Well, that's certainly not the case.
Well, and they trust Stevenson more in that regard. And Stevenson's had some pretty good blitz pickups lately.
Yes.
Talking about the wide receivers is another key to the victory. Every week it seems to be somebody else, but I think we're starting to see it settle in a little bit to Diggs, Booty, Hollins.
Yeah, Douglas flashed a little bit against New Orleans, but that has not been the norm.
Right. So, I mean, what do you need to see from them? Because they're going to face man coverage. They're going to face guys that can.
So I think
they're going to they're going to want to take Diggs out.
Yes, I think this week you're going to see more of Hollins being utilized in the seam and a little bit in the middle of the field, Chris. I think to your point, how useful will the tight ends be in this game? I don't know because their linebackers are athletic. I think they will scheme to take Diggs out. But I do think, Chris, Hollins will have a bigger role this week. I think Booty will give you what he gives you.
Yeah.
My prediction, just my prediction, they slowly are working him in. You're going to see a Chisholm sighting this week on offense, and he's going to be incorporated into the offense this week because I think, Chris, those quick in the old Edelman routes will work against this team. He can run them.
Like those return routes, those whip routes.
I think he can run them better than anyone else they got on the roster.
Well, I'll tell you, it's an interesting point because when you play a team that can play man coverage like this, or is going to try some, the more if you got receivers that can get themselves open and create separation quicker, that's what you need. And I believe that. I believe that Chisholm will be even better than Pop Douglas in his separation because I just think his route running is so precise. It's so like Nakua-esque, sort of, where everything is on that stem. When he stems that route, you just can't cheat. I mean, I'm playing man coverage and I'm trying to gain leverage on his break, and I see that stem. I can't. I got to stay square. I can't commit, especially if it's a choice route and he's got a choice. And all I got to do is lean a little bit, and Chisholm's going to break that route, and May will find them. So Mark's a great point. I mean,
I think you see him this week. This is the game for him. I believe so, Chris. I do.
We'll finish with the offensive line because,
that could be a nightmare this week, Chris. Talk about what you saw last week.
Well, listen, and by the way, Miami had 2 sacks last week. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm talking about Miami. The Browns. Okay, the Browns had 4 sacks last week. They had 11 tackles for losses. Okay, 11. Now that's against the crap Miami. I get it.
No, it was, but still, Chris, that's impressive.
Wilson is still struggling. Okay, anytime you see a situation with a twist, there's some sort of a twist, even Campbell too. They struggle with that. They end up basically a magnet to the twist, to the inside defender, and they ignore what's happening on the outside. And this is what I see happening to that left side of the line. I'd be honest with you, I liked how Ben Brown played at left guard. And I wouldn't be surprised if Wilson has got a short leash this week. And they pull him for Brown.
Wilson's going to eventually be the center, Chris.
I agree. And I think he's going to be a great one. But for this week and what you're going to see on that front four, there'll be movement. They're going to do things on that left side of the line to Campbell and Wilson that if you watch film, you see other teams doing, teams that don't have as much talent. Those little stunts and twists, and I think you're going to see the tight end in more, especially on Campbell's side, to protect against Garrett if he's out there, or that kind of thing. And so you'll see those chips. So you got to do things to protect them, because I don't think it was all that great last week. Not a lot of people have talked about what the offensive line play was like last week against Tennessee, but I wasn't all that impressed with the left side of that line. So pay attention to that. It definitely bears watching to see how that's going to go for this game. But so they got to play, Mark, the final key to victory for offense for you.
You're going to have to establish the run. No turnovers, Chris. You cannot turn the ball over again this week. You're going to have to play clean, mistake-free football. Establish the run, and I think that'll open up that intermediate passing game. Quick decisions for May.
Yeah. And the penalties too. Play in front of the sticks. Don't play behind the sticks.
Death by 1,000 cuts this week is the way I think it's going to have to be, Chris.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. So this portion of Pat's preview was presented by Corso Law Group, Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm, corsolawgroup.com. Allow us to be your voice. And when we come back, we're going to continue in Pat's preview, talk a little defense, and then we'll get to coaching All that and more, no flipping.
No one ever thinks they will be in need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Corso Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Call or go online to corsolawgroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys.
Stuff that we saw today are things that have been an issue for this team all year. I mean, they basically stink in the middle of the field on the second level, and they really struggled to get quarterback pressure with only 4 guys. And I don't care, who's out there and who's not out there. That doesn't change the fact that the safeties are not good. The linebackers are not great in the pass, and they're underwhelming with a 4-man front as far as pass rush. So to me, that's the problem. And also finding a way to make it work with. I see a coaching staff that used to be with the Titans with Vrabel that never really had these sort of man cover corners that they have with Gonzalez and Davis and Marcus Jones. And they're having a tough time meshing it with what they want, what they normally do on defense. And until they get that figured out, they're going to continue to struggle and make guys like Spencer Rattler and Cam Ward, in the first half, look like Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, that was Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal talking about last week's performance, and he sees what we see. We talked about this yesterday, Mark, on Corso and Catone a little bit. Let's get deeper into it now as it relates to this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's no secret what an issue this is, the middle of this field. And when I say middle of the field, I agree with Greg. It's the linebackers all the way up to the safeties. And now this week, we'll see about the injury report. We'll see about the inactive, but yeah, three of the 5 total safeties that you have on the injured report, Duggar, Woodson, Hawkins, all, you're left with what? Schooler and Pettis. So, I mean,
yeah, we got to see what the inactives are.
So for this week, you're playing, you get lucky because Dylan Gabriel, okay, last week he was 13 of 18, 116 yards. I mean, nothing spectacular. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he didn't throw a pick either. The running game for them, they did rush against Miami for 104 yards. But to me, Cleveland's game is going to Judkins. It's just going to be a big day for him, for them to have any success.
Chris, Judkins runs the ball, catches it out of the backfield. I'm going to tell you what you're going to have to do this week, Chris. You're going to have to trust the coverage. Bedard references our corners and the fact that they're having difficulty meshing that Tennessee system they used to play on defense because Tennessee didn't have shutdown corners like we have. So you're going to have to trust the coverage, Chris.
Because I think Davis is playing like crap. Well, go ahead.
Yes, but technically, Chris, he's supposed to be one of your, a guy that can play man-to-man out there, right? So you're going to have to trust your coverage, Chris, because you're going to have to hope, or you're going to have to utilize your linebackers and your safeties to be more aggressive, Chris. They're going to have to be aggressive in stopping the run. You're going to have to trust that man-to-man on the outside against those receivers they have. They can handle them. And you're also going to have to, they should. And you're also going to have to use your linebackers and safeties, Chris, to force Dylan Gabriel to beat you from the pocket. They're going to have to get pressure on him because he hasn't proven he can do that. Okay? He didn't turn the ball over last week, but he misses open receivers, Chris. He makes the wrong reads. He may not lead to an interception, but he's not completing passes either.
Yeah. And it's as if
they're flawed at quarterback, and their receivers lead the league in drop passes.
Right. And the thing about it is too, and it seems that they're only allowing him to read one side of the field too.
Yes.
At this stage.
It
doesn't seem like he's going through a full progression, which is helpful. It's helpful to us in that we, getting pressure with 4 has been a problem, as Greg points out, Bedard. It's been a problem. It's a game that you can bring heat because you can play. I think Davis has played poorly. I know I'm a little all over the place, but bear with me. I know Davis has not played well. I am not impressed with him. He's certainly not playing to the caliber he played in when he was in Tampa or even in Detroit some. Certainly not. I mean, last week he tripped and fell, in coverage. I was like the first.
So, Chris, has he hit that? Has he hit that proverbial wall? Did you overpay? I mean, we both think you overpaid for him, but is he now moving towards the backside of his career, which means you're not going to see that elite shutdown capability anymore?
Yeah, I think so. But in this particular game, I don't think they have enough on offense with their receiving corps for it to show its face. Where it's going to be, what's worse for us is what you're about to say. Okay.
Yes.
Is in the middle of the field. Okay. Where it's going to be worse for us, which is when we now starting to, because there's two guys that you want to talk about on Cleveland. And you didn't tell me this ahead of time, but I know full well who you are. Okay. And I know the two guys that I know the two tight ends you're going to talk about, and the issue that we're going to have with the Spillane, with Tavai, with Ellis, with Gibbons, trying to lock up in the middle of that field. Go.
So Njoku's been a little banged up, Chris, but if Njoku is ready, I don't know who you got in the middle of the field that's going to go with him. And the rookie who I liked in the draft, Harold Fannin from Bowling Green.
Yeah.
They're two athletic tight ends, Chris. You're going to have listen, they may gash you with their tight ends this week, Chris. How do we stop that with our linebackers and safeties? Both those guys are athletic tight ends that can move.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a huge problem. It's been a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem. It is nothing they're going to do. There may be something they can do in the trade market. Before we came on the air, you talked to me about who again wants to trade out of Cincinnati.
The linebacker Wilson, their captain on defense. Sideline to sideline linebacker. You love him, Chris. Every time you see Cincinnati play, you're like, Mark, look at this kid move, right?
Yeah.
Today he said he wants to be traded. So there you go.
So go get him.
Go get him.
Go get him.
Go get him.
What's it going to cost?
Linebacker's an issue.
5th rounder.
Hey, what's going to cost you? I give up a 3rd rounder for him. Your 3rd rounder last year is a stiff. Well,
so this is a huge thing. I mean, so if look, the Patriots should win this game. This is a perfect opportunity for the New England Patriot defense to stand up this week, because offensively, I don't know they're going to be able to carry the day like they've been doing because of what we just talked about in the last segment. Yeah. So this is the perfect week, Mike Vrabel, a defensive guy, defensive coach. This is the perfect opportunity for you to stand up, for your defense to stand up to, one, not allow scores on the first 3 possessions. You keep talking about starting faster, so go ahead and start faster. Don't allow them for the their first 7 drives to go into your end. Hey, how about getting a punt from their own, 30, their own 40, stopping them before midfield. This is the opportunity with this type of team and this type of quarterback that you should be able to disguise your looks, your coverages, your blitz packages. You should be able to do that, because to me, the biggest key to victory to this week is got to be stopping Judkins, who, by the way, is the better of the 2 backs.
From Ohio State. Judkins is from Ohio State, by the way.
We got the other one.
This reminds me of Sonny Michel and Nick Chubb, but
it does.
We took Michel, but I hope we're wrong about that. But
so they only had 260 total yards against Miami. But if you can control Judkins and you can control the run game, and the Patriots have been one of the tops in the league in against the run, but they haven't really met a team yet that's been committed to doing it, to running the ball.
Cleveland will commit to running the ball with Judkins. They'll commit.
Right. Tonga's been on the injury report. Let's see what he's like today, because he's been a good find for them.
Oh, he's been a huge find for them. Great pickup. Listen, Chris, Judkins, they're going to commit to the run, but we haven't been bad against the run, Chris. Is that just because teams don't commit to it? Or
I don't think they have.
Or can we actually stop the run?
No, I think I twofold. I think we can stop the run some, but I'm not convinced yet. I think it's more to do with the opponents and their commitment to doing it. I think if teams were more committed to doing so, they could run the ball against us. A lot of that has to do with also the situation of the game, leads, you're playing with a lead, you cut their playbook down some, and that kind of thing, which is what you're going to have to do this week. But the other key to this, Mark, get off the field on third down. Cleveland was 4 of 11 last week on third down versus Miami. Miami stinks. You got to be better than 4 of 11.
Yeah, I think, Chris, this week, though, was going to be a little bit similar to last week in the fact that you kept telling me, Mark, this kid Warts, he's not good. This kid Gabriel isn't good either. So
I don't think so.
I think that's going to play to your defense's advantage, Chris. I think you might be able to force this kid into a couple of turnovers. This kid's not good. I mean, I was reading an article today. Unless Cleveland goes on the run, the last 4 weeks of the season, Shedeur Sanders is going to play because they want to see what he can give them. Well, and then in the offseason, they'll decide where they go for quarterback.
Well, a lot of that will have to do with this week, I'm sure, as to what he looks like against New England. But those are the keys to me. Those are the defensive keys to victory. Again, get off the field on third down, exploit that, stop the run, force Gabriel to beat them, like Mark says, from the pocket, okay, and win the damn turnover battle. And let's see if we can get some pressure with our front four and start fast. That's how this game has got to be played. Defense needs to show up and make a statement this week for them to be considered a legit playoff defense. So let's see if we can get that done. But Pat's preview was presented by Corso and Catone, the real deal, New England Field, Saturdays, noon Eastern. Hey, we got Catone's comments, B's and C's. We're going to talk about this Browns game, this recap next week, so tune into that. But we come back, going to go into the coach's room. Coach's Corner is next. The real deal, New England Field. What does that mean? We're like you. We're going to bitch about everything.
My opinion, our draft, the good, the bad, it was ugly.
These people, Mark, drive me freaking insane. Bananas.
It's so frustrating and aggravating. I can't take it.
The real deal, New England Field. It's going to be real. Oh, it's going to be real, all right. Back in with the Pats Nation. That's Joe. Listen, I can't wait for the holiday Catone's comments that are coming. You?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, like you got, for people who just haven't heard that yet, I don't know if you're in a cave or not, but you got to tune into Catone's comments. Go back, listen to them during the holidays.
We're going to make them wear the Canadian Miss t-shirt throughout.
Oh, I'll wear it. I'll put it on one show. I'll put it. Look, do you know that they've already got everything out for Christmas already?
Holidays. Of course they do.
Yeah.
They just completely dog Thanksgiving like it's not even there, anymore. Just I hate that. Love that. Love Thanksgiving. Football and food.
Nobody makes money on Thanksgiving. Come on.
Yeah, football, food, turkey. My PC Friars are playing on Thanksgiving in a tournament. They're being televised.
Enough for you to get enough reason for you to get irritated and aggravated right there.
I'll have the bourbon bottle out by about 1:00 on Thanksgiving.
Excellent. Good. So we're looking forward to that on Course with Catone. But right now, we want to talk a little bit of coaching. We're going to do it in Coach's Corner. Joe.
Coach's Corner.
As players, we want to play for him. We want to go hard for him. We damn sure want to win for him. But, he's a humble coach, so he's not going to make it about himself. Always going to be about the players. But for us, it is always personal, especially as one of our guys. It's part of like having our guys back.
When you gain such a bond with your peers and obviously with your coach, man, they try not to make it more than ways to keep their guys level head, but it's personal for them. And we just want to play hard for them and give them everything we got to make sure they come out on top and they get the exact feeling that they would like to feel at the end of the game. So definitely with some extra juice on the defensive end to make sure that our guys, anybody that, that came from this team or just was a part of this organization anyway, man, they got their revenge and they came out on top.
We all got his back, regardless of anything. And the people that was probably here, we play for Braves, no matter what, But every game we play for Braves, and it felt good to get this win.
It's another win at the end of the day, but it do mean more too to get a win for him. It's big for him too. So.
Did you hear that Vrabel chant at the end of the game?
Yeah, I did.
What was your reaction to that?
I thought it was pretty cool. You have to ask him. I think he liked it.
Played it, obviously, all week long, everyone did about Coach Vrabel coming back here. What has he meant to you guys, though? Not just, but on a daily basis, in helping you guys get to 5-2 where you want to be right now?
Yeah, he's he brings it every day. I think he brings it every day. He challenges us, but he also cares about us and cares about us outside the building. And I think
yeah, he's just awesome to play for.
That's what matters.
It's pretty cool in the locker room.
Yeah.
That, of course, was a bunch of the players discussing Mike Vrabel's return to Tennessee last week, and Drake May gave him the game ball at the end. Mark, you talked about it, where he was kind of, mugging up and, wrestling up with the guys a little bit. And
yeah.
He's been able to establish, and this is hard to do with kids, he's been able to make them we talked about this a long time ago, that today's player, okay, if they know you love them, genuinely love them, they'll do whatever you want. They'll go to the wall for you. They'll go through wall. They'll go through everything. And that's at every level. I don't care if it's high school, college, or pros. They're kids at the end of the day. They get paid a lot of money, but they're still kids. And when they know that in an organization, in an industry that's full of takers, okay, that's all it is. It's takers across the board. That's all these kids come across. When you find a giver, a life giver, that's what we preach when we play. Be a life giver, not a life taker. Say this to these kids. When you come across somebody that gives to you and gives to you off the field and cares about your family. I heard Vrabel on the Rich Eisen show, and he was asked, what was the first thing you said to May? What did you discuss with him? He said, well, I didn't discuss anything with him. He goes, I didn't tell him anything. What did you tell him? He's like, I didn't tell him anything. Because I got to know him. I asked him about his family. I asked him about his likes, dislikes, who he is as a human. And then later I figure out basically how to find his frequency. He didn't say those words. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what matters to these kids, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a different. We've talked about this, Chris. These modern athletes, it's a different breed. It's not what they were 10, 15, 20 years ago. Part of why Belichick struggled his last few years here, right? And Gerard Mayo, I think, had some of the qualities Vrabel has a little bit, but he didn't have the X's and O's piece, and he was over his head. Vrabel's got the experience. He was a head coach. But yeah,
the problem with Mayo was he left it to he had some of that piece, but he didn't get involved with them.
Yeah, it was weird.
Vrabel seems to get
considering
involved.
He was a player, Chris Mayo.
Right.
It was strange. It was strange. It was very strange. I don't know. But yeah, Vrabel, Chris, has come out and has preached family and to these guys. And I got your back. I care about you. We're a team. We're going to pick each other up. He's outside the locker room after every game shaking hands, right?
Yeah.
Shaking the players' hands as they come into the locker room, right? Like, it's just and listen, by all accounts, Chris, you and I, there's no way Ramondre Stevenson should still be on that field after all those turnovers.
Most places he wouldn't be.
He wouldn't be. Or he would have been released. Contract or not, they would have released him. He's had his back. He's worked with him. Got him involved again last week. That says something to the team, Chris. It says something to the players, right?
Yeah. Not only does it say something
We've
to the
been
current,
talking about this for weeks.
Yeah. Not only does it say something to the current players, and I'm not telling you that there's an ulterior motive. I'm not saying that it's not genuine.
Yeah.
But Mike Vrabel's nothing if he's not strategic and thoughtful about the future as well. Okay? And so not only does it speak to the players that are in that locker room, it speaks to the players that are in other locker rooms right now that are soon to be looking for a new locker room. And that's something that it's doing too.
Yeah, Chris, because you and I have said the last few years, why is any but free agent coming to New England?
Right.
Why are they coming in? Well, now you got Drake May.
Two reasons.
Now you got Drake, and now you got Vrabes. Vrabes,
Right.
calls them Vrabes, right?
Yeah, they
Now
call
you
them
got
Vrabes.
Vrabes, right? So think about that. Now you got two things working in your favor when it comes time to go get somebody to come here.
You know the saying is, it's not a lie if you believe it, right? Right, Joe, your brother lives by that rule. But
Stands up there.
here's the thing.
Spoken like a true lawyer.
No, but listen, and I don't, and I'm not. I'm just. It's a segue. I talk. If it's genuine, it's real. It's real. Look, I talk to these kids at practice. How's school, guys? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. But not just that. Tell me about your class today. What'd you learn? What you got? And they talk to me about it. And we laugh and we talk. And I give them advice on how to talk to the teachers and things to say and all that stuff. The point is, that's real, though. I mean it. I mean that stuff. I'm not just doing it to get something out of them. And I really think Vrabel means it. I think he believes it. I think he means it. And I think he appreciates the hell out of what these guys go through. And like I said, they're always going to run through glass for him every single time for a guy like that. So what he's doing is working, Mark. He's established the culture. I'd say it's established now at this point. Yeah.
No. Oh, absolutely. He's established a culture, and it's working right now. It's working. What happens if you go out and lay an egg? Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's the foundation, Mark. The foundation about I care about you and your world lays the foundation for me to now get on your ass when it's not working, or not just get on your ass when it's not working, but the ability to be able to bring you all together when it doesn't work, because it's not always going to go your way. I mean, that's the way. That's the game, So when it doesn't go your way, no, how do I get them back? How do I get them back to focus again? To forget about it. And that's the cultures he's established. Speaking of establishing culture and establishing something, let's establish some funds. Let's establish some good money-making schemes and systems for our gambling. Want to talk a little Sunday spread there, Mark?
Listen, let's go, Joe. Let's go.
Let's go. He wants Joe. He wants the noise. He wants the.
You know what I want. You know what I want.
That.
No.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
We gotta give it to him.
Is it somewhere where it's hard to find?
What?
That thing?
It is. You dumped it all the way down at the bottom with all the new stuff you put in there. All the new audios. I'm like, where is it?
Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. All right, Mark, let's talk. Let's go Sunday spread. Last week we did okay, but let's start with our game. So it's going to be a Patriots are favored by 7 at home against Cleveland. Obviously, 40.5 is the over/under. What do you think? Ooh,
wow,
look at the face he's making.
We're favored by 7.
See, he just looked at this, Joe.
Wow,
this is all coming off the cuff.
I know it's not. I knew we were favored by 7. Listen, I think it's going to be New England's going to struggle early.
Yeah,
they're going to win this game. 24-16 New England.
Okay. For me, I have the offense struggling early. But I got the defense not strong this week. Okay. And I think I got the Patriots going to cover that spread. And I think I have a 20. I didn't really come up with a score, but I will right now. I'm going to say 27. I want to say 14. 27-14 Patriots.
All right.
There you go. All right, Mark. Make us some money.
They're coming off a bye week. They're coming off 2 bad performances.
Yeah, I got them too. Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills are going to kick the living daylight.
Annihilate them.
Listen, I saw Carolina. The quarterback's terrible. I don't care if they've won a couple of games in a row. I think Buffalo's a touchdown favorite. 7.
Yeah, 7 points. Yep.
7 points. Listen, run, and bet Buffalo this week. Run and bet Buffalo.
Or use them in a tease and bring it down to a point.
Tease them, something. But Buffalo is a lock this week. A lock.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you on this. This is
the perfect coming off out of a bye week, Chris.
Right? Yeah, this is the perfect time to bet this game. This is the perfect situation, and Vegas knows it too. They're upset. This is one of those games they want to try to throw it by us, okay? Because they know full well what we see and what we're talking about right now. This is a 7-point spread, but this could easily be 14.
Oh,
okay,
very
because Vegas had to make it this. They had to set this line at 7 because Carolina won a couple of games. So you couldn't have a more perfect situation for a bet than this one. So watch now. Watch Carolina win the game. But I'll take Buffalo too. Mark, what else you got? You got to take all my picks this week.
No, I'm not going to take all your picks. I'm going to tell you what, Chris, who I like this week too. I like, believe it or not, at home, they're a good home team. They're a very good home team. And Miami is, I don't know, the coach has to have, he's got to have pictures of the owner. He's got to have some kind of, he's got pictures. He's got pictures on somebody down there, right? Atlanta, I know it's 7.5, 8. They're gonna cover. They're gonna beat they're gonna beat the crap out of Miami at home. Atlanta plays well at home. Atlanta's gonna blow them out at home.
I like that. I like that pick because that's the next loss I have for the Patriots, and we'll talk about that next week. It's going to be the Atlanta Falcons because they bring things to the table. You know, there's Bijan Robinson, there's Drake London. This is an issue team. You know, with a lot of talent. I like that pick. I like the Denver. I hate betting. I hate betting with Denver because I just want them to lose. The Giants, let me tell you something. The Giants, Ryan Daboll, you pissed on your leg so bad last week against the freaking Denver Broncos when the Patriots needed Broncos to lose. How on earth do you have first and goal from the 2-yard line with a guy like Scatterboo and 40 seconds left? Take a knee, get the clock down to 20 seconds.
In your pocket, a timeout in your pocket, Chris.
Why are you running? Why are you scoring with 35 seconds left in the game? You knew they were going to lose the game. Such poor management.
They were rushing to get the playoff.
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was screaming at the TV. Anyway, Dallas is at Denver. Denver's favorite 3.5 in this game. I listen. I know Dallas. Once again, they got like the number 1 offense in football or whatever they got, but they're just I just find them to be a trash bag of a team. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys from ownership down, and I just don't see Denver at home losing this game. It's the half point. If it was 3, I would, like Mark said, sprint to the window. But half point bothers me a little bit. But I like Denver in this game, Mark.
Yeah.
You know, anything else? Is there one more?
Well, so I'll tell you what, Chris. I'm going to say if you're going to use a tease, you're going to tease it, right? You're going to tease it.
Yeah.
I do a 3-team teaser. I would tease down between 2 games here. I would tease down Philadelphia because I think it's payback. The Giants beat them on a Thursday night in New York.
Philadelphia's giving us Philadelphia's favorite 7.5. So you want to put it down to a 1.5.
Tease them down. I use Philadelphia, I use Atlanta, and I use Buffalo in a 3-team tease.
And those all become a point to a 1.5.
Yep. I tease all 3. I tease all 3 of those games down.
I like that. I do. I like that. And I would also add a 4th game with that Denver game. And flip it. So Denver's now getting like 2.5 points.
Oh, yeah, that's
at home.
Yeah.
And use New England in the tease as well. You could bring New England down to a point.
Yeah, you could bring them down. But we never use New England.
We're not going to. But you know, for the people out there, for the people out there. So
did you see the video this week of Lamar Jackson? I got to bring it up.
No.
He went to a joint it was like a little local joint. I don't know. His friend owned it, college friend, a high school friend. It almost looked like a trailer where you get food, but it might have been a little rinky dink place. I don't know. He's blown out of his mind at like 1 a.m. Blown out of his mind.
You gonna play this week?
Video. Oh, you got to look at the video. He's like, yeah, I'm hungry. Yeah, you like who let him out of the house? Like, listen, we'll send a handler out to go get you the food.
Right, he can get anything he wants.
Jesus Christ, you got to see the video, Chris.
Don't be careful about betting Baltimore then this week.
It's all over social media.
Remember, everybody, bet for want, not for need. The Pats Nation was presented by Carson Winkatone, the Real Deal New England Field, Saturdays, noon Eastern. Hey, next week we're going to have a breakdown of this Browns game, along with Catone's comments and so much more. Come back next weekend, 8 a.m. We are the first pregame show of the day. We will have our pregame breakdown of the Falcons, Patriots-Falcons game I'm worried about. So make sure you're tuning into that. And anything you bring, we will be ready. We are the Pats Nation. Enjoy the game.